Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, as you can see, we're going to be working on my makeup collection and do a declutter because it is, I think, time that I start to go through my makeup again and get rid of things that I've had sitting in my drawers for a while that I just haven't touched since the last time I did this little declutter. So, I'm obviously going to start with the top drawer, which is like foundation, primer, concealers, and get rid of things I know for sure need to go, whether that be because they just don't match my skin tone or because I haven't used them in like a year or have had them for between 2 to 4 years and they just should probably go because they're probably not good anymore. So I did want to do this today because holidays are coming up. And I know I put a couple things on my Christmas list that my fiance might be getting me for Christmas that is makeup related. So I really want to have room for like newer stuff and get rid of old things that I know for sure I just don't need or don't want anymore because they're super old. So I'm going to be putting everything in this little basket here, if you guys can see, just so that I don't have things all over the place. So I'm going to be starting off with foundations, and the first foundation I think I'm going to get rid of, oh my god, this is so gross. I don't know if you guys can see, but you can kind of see the liquid moving because it's separated. But this is the Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation from Urban Decay. And I have this in the shade 30 CG, and I don't think this is my shade. I'm pretty sure when I first like bought it, I just am really bad at picking out my foundation shades, so I'm pretty sure this was a bit too orange on me. So I'm gonna get rid of this foundation. The next thing I'm gonna get rid of is this Purelisse. I think that's how you say the brand name. It's a BB cream with SPF 30, but I haven't used it in probably over a year, and I know that it's probably expired because this is the amount of time it should be open is 18 months, and I don't think I want to put this on my face because it does have SPF, and I'm not trying to have my skin break out because my skin has been doing really well. I have a little breakouts here and there, nothing significant, but I don't think I want to risk it with this product because it has sunscreen in it, and it's definitely been over the 18 months that I'm supposed to have it. So I think this is going to be another product that's going to go. I think this BH Cosmetics as well. It's definitely kind of separated. I don't even know if I actually ever used this. It's in the shade 212 Light Olive. I just don't know if this is my shade. I might test it a little bit on my skin just to see if it is my shade or not. It does look a little bit pink, so I don't think it's gonna be my shade, but I think it's just time for it to go. I don't think I ever really used it. It looks like I used it maybe a couple times, but I don't even remember if I liked it or not. Okay, this Hello Happy Flawless Brightening Foundation by Benefit. I forgot I even had this. I think I used this a little bit. I don't remember. I think I've had this for over a year or two. Definitely have had it for a while. This is in the shade, I don't know what shade this is, but it has an expiration date and it says 5/21. So this is definitely over a year old. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this as well. I don't even think it was my shade either. I have the Maybelline Fit Me Matteless Plus Poreless Foundation. Pretty sure this is like the first foundation I ever bought. I don't think this is the same bottle, but I'm pretty sure this is the foundation I bought when I started getting into makeup. And it's in the shade 220 Neutral Beige, but I don't even think this is probably my shade anymore. It does look a bit orangey, so it doesn't smell like super bad. It does smell a bit like paint-ish. But yeah, this is super old. I haven't used it. Pretty much all these foundations I haven't used because I've been into my HD Skin foundation from, what's the brand name? Makeup Forever, and I've been loving that one, and I think that one definitely matches me a lot better than any of these do. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Now this foundation that's in here is from Shein, and it's the Silk Matte Liquid Foundation. And this is actually new. I bought it to test out and I never actually did. And I haven't even opened it. And this is in the shade 104 Light Beige. So I'm going to definitely keep this one to try and see if it might be my shade and how I like it, since I haven't used it. And I do like that it's a pump. And the packaging is actually also glass. So it's pretty like high-end feelings. And it comes in this little like sleeve. So I'm going to definitely keep in I'm definitely going to be keeping the Shein to see how I like that foundation. And then for these two here, definitely the Lancome I've had for a long time. Definitely over like 2 years possibly. And I don't think this was ever my shade. I'm pretty sure this was way too light for me. I had someone help me at Ulta to like get my correct shade, and I don't think the person who helped me did a very good job of it, but I think it's also very hard to do like match test inside with like fluorescent lights, because as soon as I started using it when I was home, I would go out, it did not look how it did in stores. So I definitely did not, I don't want to say I didn't like the foundation, I didn't like the shade on me, so I think that was the problem. But this is definitely really old and I should probably get rid of it as well. And this was kind of expensive. This is I think the most expensive foundation I've ever bought. It was like $47. So this was definitely a more expensive foundation. But like I said, I haven't tested it or haven't used it in a long time. Maybe I'll see if I can like pick up another shade and see how I like it now that I'm more into like face products. But yeah, this has got to go. Alright, and then this Wet n Wild foundation is definitely really old as well. This is in the shade Buff Biscay. And I've had this for definitely over 2 years. I think this is my second bottle of it. It's still very like liquidy. It's not like clumpy or anything, but I know for sure it's been like 2 years since I last bought it or even used it. So definitely gonna remove this from the drawer. Then I have like a little mixing tool for foundations. I do have this Smooth Minerals Avon powder foundation, and I think I'm going to keep it just to see if I like it. It's a translucent glow, so I've never tried this before, so I think I'm going to keep it to try it. It's not been opened either, so I'm going to keep that. And then I have the Pure Pressed Mineral Makeup 4-in-1 foundation. It's in the shade Porcelain, which is definitely not my shade, I don't think. It's like a powdered like foundation, which I think it was Raw Beauty Christie that I saw that she used to talk about this all the time. So I bought it, but I don't think the shade matched me very well. I mean, it might match me a little bit more now that I'm more fair. So I'm gonna probably keep it to try it out a little bit more and see how I like it, or if it even is my color. I mean, I can also probably use it as like a powder, but yeah, I still have this, so I'm gonna keep this one and this one here. Now for concealers, I have a lot of concealers. I have ones that I've had for literally like over 3 years, which are these Maybelline Fit Me concealers. As you can see, this one's pretty much like gone and it looks like it needs to be thrown out because it's super old. And then I have this one, which I bought as like a backup for this one because I'm pretty sure I did really like it. And it is opened, so I don't know if I wanna like risk using it up, especially putting it on my face knowing that it's a bit older. It doesn't smell weird, it just smells like makeup, like that makeup smell. So I think I might set this aside and think about it, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep it yet. But I'm definitely gonna get rid of this one that's pretty much gone. The next thing I have is this e.l.f. Hydrating Camel Concealer. This was definitely one of the like hyped up concealers that I had seen a lot online like a couple years ago. I have it, but I don't think it's my shade. I don't know if you guys can see, but it also looks like it's separating in the tube. So I don't know if I would want to keep it necessarily, because it is definitely much older. Definitely not as old as the Maybelline one, but it's pretty old. And I have this one in the shade Light Sand, so I don't know if this is really my shade, but I kind of want to keep it to test it out a little bit more and see if this is my shade, or if I can go a shade lighter. And then if I decide that I want to try a different shade, then I'll get rid of this one. The next one I have is this one from Tarte. It's the Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light Sand, and I think this one might be a little too light for me. From what I remember when I first got it, started testing it out, it was very light. I also think back then I was out more in the sun more often, so I think I'm gonna keep this still and try it out as well to see how it works with my skin tone now and if I like it, because I know this was also a very, very popular concealer. I don't think it's as popular now, but I think it's still pretty well loved by a lot of people. But yeah, I think I want to keep it and still try it out and see how I like it. Sorry, I have the Stay Naked Correcting Concealer, which was from the same line as the Stay Naked foundation from Urban Decay. This one I barely even use. I think this was a bit too light for me at the time. Even still looking at it now, it looks like it might be a bit light for me, but I think I'm going to keep it as well. This Revolution Conceal and Hydrate concealer is in the shade C7. I don't know, I have a very hard time with concealers because I feel like sometimes when I use too much product under my eye, it starts to look really dry, but I think that's just because I'm not using the right like under eye cream. Right now I'm using a eye brightening stick from Tula, which I don't think really does much for me, so I think I'm going to keep that one as well to see, test it out a little bit more. I have this one from She Glam that I also purchased and I haven't used. This one's in the shade O2 Light, and I think I'm going to definitely keep it to test it and see if I like it or not, because She Glam is a much more affordable brand as well. At least for when I bought this. I bought this like a year or two ago and I haven't used it. I haven't opened it, so I'm definitely going to keep it to test it out. This CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer. I think this was another one that was a pretty popular. This is in the shade Classic Ivory, and I don't think I used this very much. I think the shade was just not what I was looking for, but I think I'm gonna keep it to try and test it out a little bit more and see how it wears. Okay, I'm definitely keeping a lot more concealers than I thought I was going to. This one from not Elf, sorry, Wet n Wild can definitely go. This is definitely not my shade, I don't think. It looks very orangey in the packaging. So I think I'm going to get rid of this one, and I know this one's pretty old as well. This is in the shade Light Medium Beige. I think that's a bit too orangey for my skin tone even now. So I think I'm going to get rid of this one. And then for this one from Pretty Vulgar, I think this one I got in like a BoxyCharm a few years ago, which is definitely really old, and it's definitely not my shade. As you can see, it looks very, very orange. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. And then I have this little mini from Fenty Beauty. This is a Soft Matte Longwear Foundation sample in the shade 170. So I'm gonna keep this. I got this in a sample like about a year ago when I did a big Fenty Beauty order for like Memorial Day, or yeah, I think it was like Memorial Day sales or something like that. But I'm gonna keep it to test and see if I like it or if I like the shade. And then the last thing I have here is the Brightening Under Eye Tint by Milani, and this is in the shade 120 Peach, which I'm going to keep. I don't know how I feel about this product yet. I've only used it like maybe once or twice, so I'm definitely going to keep it and see if I like it or not. But yeah, I'm going to keep that here with the concealers. I'm going to put them all on this side here. And put that there. Now for primers, I have here kind of tucked away a little bit in the back. I think I'm definitely going to get rid of this No Problem primer from Touch in Sol. I've had this for literally over 3 years, and I got like halfway through it and I started using different primers, so I haven't touched it since, and I think it's definitely time for it to go. It says it expired in 11/21, so it's been a year since I've had this, so, or no, it's been definitely over a year, but it's definitely been over a year that it expired, so I think it's time for this to go. And then I have this one as well. It's the No Problem Prime Essence, which is more of like it's like definitely a much liquidy consistency, much more liquid consistency than the Problem primer, than the other Problem primer. So this one, I think it says it expired actually this year, I think in May. So I'm gonna get rid of it. I haven't really used it since like within the last year. I have barely even used it, so I think it's time for it to definitely go. I have this mini all-nighter face primer, which I've never used, so I'm going to keep it because I know the all-nighter spray and I think the primer are pretty popular Urban Decay products. This mini from Fenty Beauty, it's a primer, so I'm going to keep it to test it out and see if I like it. I've never used it, so it has not been touched or opened. I do have this Smashbox Reduced Redness Primer. It's the Photo Finish line, and I haven't used it in a while. Definitely have had it for over about a year, which it's pretty much brand new still because I've only used it a couple times, so I'm definitely going to be keeping this one. This Catrice Keep Me Matte Long Lasting Oil Free Primer could definitely go. I have this, I've had this for over 2 years maybe now, so I'm definitely going to get rid of it because it's definitely most likely expired. This Tatcha the Liquid Silk Canvas I'm going to keep because I haven't even used it. This came as I think it was a mini gift that my boyfriend had, or my fiance had bought me like 2 years ago, so I'm going to keep this one. I have this mini Lancome La Base Pro primer, which I had used a few times, but I think it should probably go. Literally, I think I had it since I bought that foundation from Lancome, so I think it should probably be taken out of my primer collection. And then I have this e.l.f. Beauty Shield Antioxidant Enriched Skin Protection. It's SPF 50. It's a skin shielding primer. It says Universal Tint, and I have used this like once or twice, and I have had this for definitely over a year, and it does have SPF in it, so I think I'm going to get rid of it just because I'm not trying to risk breaking out. And then I do have this other Photo Finish Smashbox primer. It's the Super Light and Smooth and Blur, and I had bought this at the same time as the other Smashbox primer, so I'm definitely going to keep it because I don't even think I ever used this one, and I'm going to keep that. This No Filter primer from ColourPop I'm going to keep because I've had it within maybe the last year. It's definitely not very old, but I definitely want to use it up because I'm pretty sure I did like it. It does separate when you don't shake it up, but I think I'm going to finish this up and get my money's worth out of it. And then I do have this Glassy Touch in Sol Glassy Skin Balm. I think it's kind of like a primer. Yeah, it's the Glassy Skin Balm like primer, and I don't think I've ever used this. Yeah, I have never used it, but it looks like it's separating, so I don't know if I want to keep this or not. It doesn't smell weird or anything. Maybe I'll keep it and do like a test patch on my hand before putting it on my face to see if there's any reaction. But yeah, like I said, I've never used this. I think I got this in like a BoxyCharm or something. a couple years ago, but I've never used it, so I'm going to keep that one. So I'm just going to put my primers back in the little basket where I usually keep them. And then I'm going to put this towards the back again. And then I have this eyeshadow primer little basket. Oh, actually this is a concealer from Haley's Beauty. It's the Blurring Full Coverage Concealer. And this is definitely a Juicy Jazz recommendation. And I'm definitely going to keep it to try it out. It's in the shade Light Neutral. I don't know if it'll be my match, but I haven't touched, like I haven't opened it at all. So I'm definitely going to keep it to see if I like it and if it's my shade. But it comes in this really like little cute little tubes, very minimal packaging, which I kind of like. But definitely going to keep it. Put it next to my concealers. But I have this ColourPop single shadow in the shade Cathing Lights, which I love this single shadow from them, and I've had it for literally over 4 years, and as you can see, the glue at the bottom has dissolved or whatever, but it fell out. This was a really beautiful shade, but it's definitely probably not safe for me to put it on my eyes anymore, and I have kept it from the last time I did a declutter, but I think it's just time for me to let go. Hopefully, or if you guys know of a shade that's very similar to this one but just in a different name, please let me know, because I really love this single eyeshadow. Now I have these eyeshadow primers, which I do have already like 2 or 3 of them that I have in my everyday makeup collection that I want to test and use to see how I like, but I do have these extra 4, and I'm definitely going to keep them because I know they're not open, because I'm not a big like eyeshadow primer user, but I should probably start using them just in general, just to use them up and also to test to see if they actually help my eyeshadow last longer on my eyes. But yeah, I'm going to keep these, so I'm not going to be throwing anything out there, and I'm just going to have this drawer as is, like how it's organized. And yeah, I think I like the amount of product I got rid of because it definitely looks a lot less cluttered. So I think we're going to move on to the next drawer, which is going to be primers and setting sprays. But I don't think I'm going to get rid of, oh my goodness. I don't think I'm going to get rid of anything in here because all of these, or actually maybe I can get rid of this one. Let me see. I think I might get rid of this one because it's the e.l.f. Beauty Shield Antioxidant Enriched Skin Protection. It's the Daily Defense Makeup Mist, but it says it has vitamin E, licorice extract, and I don't know. It's like more of like also like a skincare product, I feel like. So I don't know if I really want to keep this, but I've never used it. So actually maybe I think I might just keep it just to test it and see how I like it. But I don't think I'm going to get rid of anything else here because most of these have not been used. And then my powders, I have already gone through, I think, and organized the ones that I want to keep. So I think this drawer is going to stay as is. So yeah, I'm not going to touch anything in here. So for my mascaras and like seeing shadows and brow pencil, I think I'm going to keep majority of things in here. I think for my brow products, I'm going to keep what I have in here already. I think I might just get rid of this Slick makeup like powder pomade thing because I think Slick makeup is not a thing, or Sleek makeup, not Slick. Sleek makeup is not a brand anymore from what I can remember, so I'm definitely going to get rid of this, and I've never used it, and I've definitely had it for over 3 years. I have this Iconic London like brow thing. It's like a pomade. I've never used it, and I don't know if I really am ever going to use it, so I might just take it out and set it aside and see if I try it out and see if I like it, and then decide if I want to keep it. But for now I'm going to take it out. For my mascaras, I think I'm going to keep what's here already. I'm not gonna really go through them because I know I probably want to keep these mascaras. Some of them are open and I'm trying to work through them. Actually this one, the Royal Treatment Primer Mascara Duo by Lorac, I think I'm probably gonna get rid of because I've had this in my collection for too long and I don't think I need to keep it. I didn't really care for it as much, so I think I'm just gonna get rid of this one. And then for the rest of them that are in here, I think I'm okay with keeping everything else. So that's the only one I think I'm gonna get rid of. And then for these single little eyeshadows that are back here, I don't think I'm ever gonna use these. I'm not like a loose pigment kind of person, so I think I'm just gonna get rid of them. I have 4 different shades. They're from Wet n Wild, and I'm pretty sure they were from like I think it was the Dragon collection that they had a few years ago. They're very pretty. They have never been opened, but I just don't ever see myself reaching for them. This is a MAC single eyeshadow and it's really pretty. I think I'm gonna keep that one. I have this one also, which I think I'm gonna keep. I have these illuminator drops from Iconic London. I don't think I'm ever going to use these. I'm not really into like illuminating stuff for my face. I do, oh goodness, sorry. I'm making such a mess. I do have these Stila eyeshadow pigments, but I do want to start using this, but they don't fit in my everyday makeup drawer just because they're so bulky. I don't know if they've repackaged them recently or anything, but I think they should probably make packaging that's not so bulky so that they don't take up so much space. But I will be keeping those for now. And I think that's all I'm going to get rid of in this drawer. Not very much, but I did some cleaning, so I think I'm okay with whatever is going to stay in here. Okay, so now we're at my blush highlighter drawer. I have a lot of blush and highlight. I'm sorry if you can see like a glare on my hand. It's from the sun. I decided to film this kind of late in the day, so the sun's starting to come through the window, but I have a lot of blush and highlighters. I have just like maybe 2 or 3 bronzers, but I rarely ever use bronzer just because it's not really something that I've really been into trying, but I'm starting to kind of be more interested on trying different bronzers to see how they really can change my, like, enhance my facial features. So I have a couple things that I'm looking at that I think I'm just gonna get rid of because I don't think I'm ever gonna use. So one of them is probably this Cover FX glitter drops. When I go for highlighters, I like when they don't look very glittery. So this is definitely not something I'm probably ever gonna use. I believe I got this in a BoxyCharm a few years ago and I've never opened it, never used it, so I'm gonna get rid of it because I don't think I'm ever gonna use it. Next thing is these Wet n Wild baked blushes. I do have one that I use, or where is it? I think I still have it, but these are just not colors that I'm ever gonna reach for, so I think I'm just gonna get rid of them and pass them along. I've had those for a long time though, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna get rid of them or pass them along to anyone. And then I do have this Amuse Cosmetics 2-in-1 bronzer highlighter, which I have used a few times, mainly the highlighter, but it's super old. It's not something that I reach for really ever, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I think also this one from Ulta Beauty, never used it, never touched it. It's just not something that really intrigues me. The color of the blush is really pretty, but I think this one's a bronzer, which I don't think I'm ever going to use, so I'm going to get rid of that. I have this. This is the highlighter that I like from e.l.f. I haven't really used it very much, but I'm going to definitely keep it to test it out. I do have this Tarteist Pro Glow Liquid Highlighter, which I think I used maybe like a few times, but it's definitely really old and I think I'm just going to get rid of it. The next things I have the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. think this is like a mini size, and I haven't used it, but I do have it, so I'm going to definitely keep it and try and use it. This one's in the shade, I don't know what shade this one's in, but it's definitely one that I should probably use and see if I like. I have this one from ColourPop. It's a pressed powder, but I think this is more of like a bronzer from what I can remember. Yeah, it's in the shade bronzer, but it's super old. I bought this when I first discovered like the brand ColourPop, but I don't know, I think I may want to pull it and put it in my everyday makeup drawer to see if I like it or if it does anything for me. So I think I'm going to remove that, and also maybe the butter bronzer, and put it in my everyday makeup drawer if it fits anywhere. And then I do have this one from BH Cosmetics. It's the Brilliance Bronzer Satin Finish Bronzer in the shade Golden Gal. And this one is very light, so I don't know if it really will do anything for my skin tone, but I'll try it out as well, and I'll put it in my everyday makeup drawer. And then I have these two from Wet n Wild. Actually, I have more bronzers than I thought. I have like 5. So these ones I think are a bit too dark, and they were limited edition. These were part of that Dragon collections that the loose pigments are from, that I'm going to get rid of. So I don't think I'm going to keep either of these. And then I have these two ColourPop highlighters, which I do really like. They were from the Kathleen Lights Zodiac, I think it's Zodiac collection from a couple years ago. But I'm going to keep them because I really like them. And then I have this highlighter from Wet n Wild, which was part of the, I think, in the Fire and Ice collection, if that's what it was called. It was from a couple years ago, and I really like the shade of the highlighter, so I think I'm gonna keep it for now. It's definitely not available anymore, I don't think, so I'm gonna definitely check and see. But yeah, it's pretty old, but I definitely do like the shade. I do have these from ColourPop. These are blushes, and they're very beautiful colors. But I think I'm going to definitely keep them because I've had them for a few years now. I haven't really touched them very much, so I think I'm definitely going to keep to use. I do have this one from Too Faced, which was part of like their fruit collection. And I bought this one at, I think, TJ Maxx, and I don't know if I want to keep it. I don't really know if it's shades that I would use, especially because the highlighter looks kind of orangey. But maybe I'll keep it and test it out and see if I even like it. I do have these Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio palettes, so I don't know. I've never used them. They're very beautiful shades, but I've never touched them, and I've had them for literally maybe 3 to 4 years. And I don't even know if, I think they're still available, but I'm not sure, so I do have to check. But definitely the only one out of this, I would definitely use this shade here, but I don't know if I would really use any other shade. But I'm gonna check see if these are even still available. If they're not, I'm gonna get rid of both of them. If they are, I might keep them, but I'm not sure just yet. And then I have this one from Shein, which is a beauty blush palette. It's a really pretty like shade. It's kind of has a bit of a glow to it, so it reminds me of like a highlighter, but I'm definitely going to keep because I haven't used it. And then I do have these two Bare Mineral Gen Nude blushes, which this is just like my favorite one out of the two. It's the shade Let's Go Nude. And I've had this for literally over 3 years. I bought them at TJ Maxx or Marshalls, but they're very pretty. This one I haven't even like touched, so I'm definitely going to try and keep them. I'm going to look online and see if they're even still available, because I don't want to really keep anything that's limited edition, because then if I want to use it or talk about it in a video and it's not available, then there's really no point. So I think I'm going to keep those for now. And then I have this one from Laura Geller. And I don't really hear much about this brand at all. It's a very beautiful baked blush, but I haven't really reached for it at all. I don't think I've ever even used it, but I think I'm going to keep it to test it out and see if I like it. But again, I'm going to see if this is even still a brand that's available, because I haven't really heard anything about this brand really, so I'm not even sure. And then I have this Burt's Bees blush from Burt's Bees, duh. It's the shade Bare Peach, and this is another Juicy Jazz recommendation. and I bought this a few years ago because I loved the way it looked on her skin. It's a very beautiful shade, and I love peachy blushes, so I'm definitely going to keep this one. And I haven't reached for it in a long time, so I'm definitely going to keep it and try to reach for it a bit more. And then I have this other big blush from Ciate London. It's a very beautiful shade. It's kind of similar to the Laura Geller, but I think I'm going to keep it and test it out because I've never even tried it. And I think I might have got this one in a BoxyCharm, so I'm definitely going to be keeping that one. I do have this Milk Makeup like mini cream blush. I'm not a big cream blush person at all. I've never used it. It still has a little protector on it. And I don't know if I want to test it out or if I just want to pass it along to someone who might like it. I do have one from Rare Beauty, which I definitely want to test out because I love Selena Gomez and I want to really just give her brand a shot and see how I like them products. But I'm not sure if I want to keep this one. I think I'm just going to keep it for now and then decide and then I'll go from there. But I do have this ColourPop blush in the shade Count Me In. It's a very like pink, beautiful pinky blush. Oh no, it looks like it's breaking on the edges. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks like it's cracking along the edges, so I don't know if that indicates that it's like old. I have had it for maybe over a year, so I think I'm going to keep that. I do have this really pretty Chanel blush that I bought a few months ago, and I'm definitely going to keep it. I really wish they would not put these in because I don't even know whoever really uses these. I mean, if you use them, great for you, but I never used any of these little brushes that come in here. I wish it would be more product and not a brush, but I don't really think they care. They're a high-end brand, so, or like, I guess you can consider them more luxury, but yeah, it's a really pretty blush. I haven't even used it, so I'm definitely going to be keeping that because it was quite pricey for a blush. I'm getting out of breath because I'm talking so much. So I'm going to go ahead and look at these ones here. Start from the back. Like I said, I have this highlighter from Wet n Wild. It's the Precious Petals. I used to use this a lot. It doesn't really look like I've touched it very much, but I have definitely used it. So I'm definitely going to keep it and continue using it. I'm not sure if it's still available, but I'll double check to be sure. And then I do have this Steven Laurent Jelly Highlighter, which I think I'm going to get rid of just because it still feels pretty like jello-y. And it's definitely giving off pigment, but actually I think I might keep it because it gives like the subtle glow and it still feels pretty jello-y, so I don't think it's dried out. But yeah, I think I might keep this one actually. This one is a Shimmer Swan Sparkling Sass Highlighter from Pretty Vulgar. I don't even know if this is even still a brand because I have never really heard anything about this brand on like any review videos. So I'm going to look it up and see if this is even still a brand. But it was definitely one that I would get on BoxyCharm all the time. So I think I'm going to set this aside as well and look it up and see because I don't even know if this is even a brand still. Now I have this baked blush from ColourPop. Not ColourPop. Oh my god. I'm starting to get my brands mixed up. This is a baked blush from Wet n Wild in the shade Hummingbird Hype. And this was part of that collection of the other two that I'm going to get rid of. It's pretty old. I don't even know if this is still available. It might have been part of like the limited edition collection. So I'm going to look this one up and see, and I'm going to be setting it aside to double check. If it's not available, I'm probably just going to get rid of it. I do have this one from She Glam. It says face palette powder, but it looks like it's just like a blush. So it's in the shade Seduction, but I haven't used it, so I'm definitely going to be keeping that one. And then I have this one from She Glam. This is the Smoked Rose Blush. And I have not used it either, but the shade is beautiful, so I'm definitely going to be keeping that. I do have this one from MAC that I think one of my cousins gave me, which I am definitely going to be keeping because I haven't even like used it, so I'm going to keep that one. And then I do have my Becca Luminous Blush in the shade Snapdragon, which I don't think I've ever really used. It's a very bright shade. I'm pretty sure I got this at like TJ Maxx or something. I don't really know if this is a shade that I'm really going to go for, but I will keep to test out and see if I like it. But yeah, I don't know if this is one that I'm going to be reaching for a lot. I have my Milani, and this is in the shade Luminoso, which is a very popular baked blush from Milani. I remember when I started first getting into YouTube and makeup, I would hear about this one all the time. So I'm definitely going to be keeping it. It's definitely older, but I really like the shade. I have these two. Oh, this is not it. I have this e.l.f. baked highlighter. I think it's... Oh, it's a baked blush in the shade Gems, but it definitely looks a lot more like a highlighter. And I have had this one for a couple years already, and I do love the shade. It does feel very like dry, but it does give off like a little glow. So I think I'm gonna keep it for now and then see how, if I reach for it. If I don't, then I'm gonna get rid of eventually. And then I do have this Laura Geller baked gelato swirl illuminator in the shade Gilded Honey, and I think I remember this also was a very popular one, but I haven't, like I said, I haven't really heard anything from this brand, and I don't think I've ever used it. And it's a beautiful like highlighter, so I'm definitely going to keep it for now. I have this Bobbi Brown little mini that I bought a few months ago, maybe about a year ago now. It's a very beautiful shade. It's the highlighter powder in the shade Pink Low. So I'm definitely going to keep to test out. And it's Bobbi Brown. I've never tried the brand. And then I have this mini Hustla Baby from Fenty Beauty. I think this is a mini, but it's so pretty. I'm definitely going to keep. And then I have this La Costa from Alamar Cosmetics. Definitely going to keep this one. I do really like this one. It's a very beautiful shade. And then I have the Patrick Ta for Face. She's blushing blush trio. Not trio. Duo. And it's the ones I have with a cream and then a powder. I haven't used it yet, but definitely want to try it out because I know it was very popular at the beginning of this year, sometime last year. And then I do also have another one of these Milk Makeup like blush sticks. It's a lip and cheek blush stick in the shade Work. But I don't know if I'm going to keep this. I'm just going to put it with the other one and just decide later if I want to keep it or not. And now I'm going to move this towards the back so I can get to the other things here. Okay, so I have another little organizer here of more, I think, highlighters. So I'm going to go through these with you. First one I have this Purple Dream Diamond Glow Powder from Artist Couture. And I've had this one for a while. I think I got this in a boxy charm, but I never could figure out how to open the little like stopper. I could never get it, so I don't even know. I'm not really into powder highlighters, so I'm just gonna get rid of this because I don't think I'm ever gonna use it. I do have this mini of the Jaclyn Hill Iced Highlighter, and I'm definitely gonna keep because I love this shade. It's a beautiful highlighter. I have this little duo from e.l.f., which I'm definitely gonna keep. Has a really pretty highlighter and blush as well. Definitely gonna keep my highlighter from Juvia's Place. It's very pretty. It kind of reminds me of the iced one from Jaclyn Hill, but I'm definitely gonna keep this one. I have this like highlighter from LYS, which I have never used. Definitely gonna keep because I know it's a very popular brand as well at Sephora. This MAC powder, what is this? It says it's a beauty powder, which I'm not really sure what that means. I think I'm going to look it up and see if it's even something that's still available. If not, I'm definitely going to get rid of because I've had it for a while. I also have this Wet n Wild I'm So Lit, I think loose highlighter powder, which I'm just going to get rid of. I don't even know if I ever really used this. I think I used to use it a lot. But like I said, I'm not a big loose highlighter fan. It's just too messy. I have this Jeffree Star highlighter, which I haven't even used yet. This is from this, which collection is this? The Supreme Frost Citrus Bling highlighter. Definitely going to keep it because it's a beautiful shade. It's a beautiful packaging. And then I have this one from She Glam. which I have never used and I'm definitely going to keep. It's a lot more orangey colored, so I don't know how much I'm going to really reach for it, but I'm definitely going to keep it. And then I have my Becca Opal Pressed Shimmer Skin Perfector, which it's a very beautiful shade. I'm definitely going to keep. Although Becca is no longer a brand, I think certain products are sold at Smashbox, so I'm definitely going to keep that one. This strobe highlighter from Revolution, I've never actually really used it, but I'm definitely going to keep it because it is a very pretty shade. It's kind of gold, but I definitely really like the shade. And then, oops, this MAC bronzing powder in the shade Soft Sand. I don't really know if this is really a shade for me, and I don't know if I like the fact that it has like some luminosity to it because it does look like kind of shimmery, but I will keep it and see if it's still even available, just like the other one, so I will set it aside just in case, but I'm going to be keeping the rest of these here. Now, I do have two palettes back here. This is the Soph X Revolution, which I've never used. I don't think I'm ever going to use it, so I'm just going to get rid of it. It is a very pretty palette, but it's just not a lot of shades that I would typically wear. So I'm going to get rid of this one. And then I do have this Morphe one. This is in the... It's the 8Z Stable Star Blazer palette, but it's not very couple shades that I would ever really use, so I'm definitely going to get rid of it. Okay, so this is looking definitely a lot more organized than it did a little bit ago, so I'm loving the progress made on this drawer. Okay, so now we moved on to like my face palette drawer. I do have a like separate drawer for like face palettes because they definitely do not fit in the top drawer where I have the rest of my blush and highlighters. So I do have this drawer here, and I'm definitely going to get rid of maybe a few things that I know for sure I don't need. First is going to be this CoverGirl Peach Punch highlighter palette. I've had this for literally maybe like 4 years. Never used it. I'm pretty sure I picked this up at like Target or Walmart, but I think it's just time for to move on to maybe a different home, because I don't even think I've ever used, I definitely have never used it, but I don't even think this like line is available anymore. So I'm gonna get rid of it. And then I think I'm gonna get rid of this e.l.f. Modern Metals palette. I don't think I've ever used it besides maybe once or twice. I'm definitely gonna get rid of this one because I don't think I'm ever really gonna reach for it. I have this Alamar Cosmetics Colorette Blush Trio, and I really love these shades in here, but I think they did a full like rebrand of all of their products, and I'm pretty sure this is part of that rebrand, so I do have the old packaging, and I think I'm gonna keep it for now and then maybe buy the newer, more up-to-date product of this. So I'm gonna keep it for now, but maybe eventually we'll buy the more up-to-date version of the product. And then I do have this Be Bella little duo, which I'm going to keep because I did buy this more recently, and I do love the shades in here. So I'm going to keep this one. I do have this Cover FX like palette, which it's very pretty, but I don't think I'm ever going to use it. I've had this literally for maybe 3 to 4 years. I believe I got this in a BoxyCharm and I've never used it, so I think I'm just gonna pass it along. I also have the SheGlam 3D Pro Face Palette, which I haven't used, and I think I'm gonna keep it just to test out and see if I like it, and then I'll obviously decide if I like it or not and use that. I do have this BH Cosmetics Vanilla Cream Truffle 4-color palette, which I'm Oops, I hit the camera, sorry. Which I'm definitely going to keep. I haven't really reached for it much because I don't know, for BH is another brand that I'm not sure if they're even still available, because anytime I go into my Ulta, the BH section is always very empty. Like there's a couple products but nothing like it used to be. So I don't even know if this is a brand that's gonna continue to be sold in my Ulta, or I don't know if it's even a brand anymore, but I'm definitely gonna keep it because their shades are so beautiful and I definitely want to play with it more, but I have to check if it's still even available. And then I have my Nude Prism blush palette from Lunar Beauty, which it's a beautiful palette. Definitely gonna be keeping it because I love these shades in here and I love Lunar Beauty. It's such a pretty brand. And then I have this Glowing in Grease BH Cosmetics blush palette as well. Another thing I have to check to see if it's even still available. It's a very beautiful blush palette. I've never used it, but I'm definitely gonna be keeping for now. I also have this Blushing in Bali palette from BH, and it's a very beautiful shade, so I'm definitely going to check to see if it's still available as well, and gonna keep that one for now. I do have this shimmer blush, Ellen Tracy blush. It's a very pretty like shade, but I don't think I'm ever going to really reach for it. Besides the fact that it's pretty, it's just so big and bulky, and I don't really want to keep product like this, so I'm definitely going to get rid of this. Okay, so I have this Jeffree Star Cosmetics Skin Frost in the shade right there. And I believe, I don't know if this was part of the, I don't know what collection this is from, but I'm going to keep it for now. I think this is not a collection that's available anymore, but I'm going to keep it for now. And then I have this Radiant Glow highlighter palette. I don't remember where I got this from, but I do like the highlighters in here. They're actually pretty pigmented, so I'm going to keep it as well. I do have this Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette, which I've never even tried, so I think I'm going to keep it so I can test it out and see if I like the contours in here, since I want to start and get to like kind of get into more of like contour and bronzer. So I'm definitely going to keep this palette. I have this one from Ace Beauté, which is very pretty as well. I believe it's more affordable than like Too Faced, so I'm going to keep this one as well to see how I like it. I do have this Park Avenue Princess Tarte palette, and I'm definitely going to keep it because I'm pretty sure this is like a very popular, I'm pretty sure Park Avenue Princess was a very popular bronzer shade or contour shade from Tarte, so I'm definitely going to keep this palette as well, and the packaging is just very pretty as well. Oops, I hit the camera, sorry. I have this She Glam Stereo Face palette. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna like drop it. And it's a very pretty shades. And I'm gonna keep it so that I can test this out because I haven't tried it at all. So I'm gonna keep this one, and it's definitely much more affordable than any other palette that I think that I'm keeping. And then Tarteist Pro Glow. It's a very pretty, but I don't think I'm ever really gonna reach for it, just because I'm not big on like, I don't know, I just don't know if I'm ever gonna use it. So I think I'm gonna let this go because I've had it for a long time. Okay, now the last drawer I have here is my eyeshadow palette drawer, and I think this is the last drawer I'm going to do because the only one after this is lip products, and I don't think I'm going to get rid of any other lip products that I already have. So I think there might be a few palettes in here that, maybe not a few, but maybe like one or two that I'm okay with getting rid of. So let's start to go through them. I do have these little palettes here. This is from Natasha Denona. This was a gift from my fiance a few years ago for Christmas, so I'm definitely going to keep this one. Put it up here for now. These two minis from Wet n Wild I have. and I kept them just because they are very pretty shades, but I have never reached for them, so I'm definitely just gonna get rid of those and make space for newer things. This is also a newer, or sorry, not new. It's a much older little palette that I have from Wet n Wild, which I think I'm gonna get rid of as well now because I really like the transition shade here at the bottom. But I think I'm just gonna get rid of it because I haven't reached for it and it's definitely really old. And then I have this newer one from the Kylie, the bronze palette, which my cousin gave me, so I'm gonna keep this one. But I do have this Too Faced Natural Mattes palette, which is very, very pretty. Just a bunch of neutral shades. And I think I'm gonna keep it for now. I haven't really reached for it before, but I think I'll keep it for now and then decide later if I reach for it. If not, then I'll keep it. Whoops. So I know a palette I can probably get rid of is this Adeline Morin X Tarte palette, which is very, very cute. I would like to keep it for the packaging, but I just think that's kind of... I don't really want to keep it just because of the packaging. It's a very beautiful palette, but I don't reach for it. It's not... I mean, I love the shades, but there's shades I have in other palettes, so I don't think I really need to keep this, and it's definitely not available anymore, so this is gonna go. Let's see. I have this Trendy in Tahoe BH palette. Like I kept saying, I don't even know if BH is even a brand, but these are beautiful, colorful shades, so I'm definitely gonna keep it because I don't really ever reach for shades like this, but in that rare occasion when I want to try to play with a little bit more color, then I'll definitely have this in my collection. And then I do have this Nomad by Juvia's Place palette, which is very beautiful, very like neutral colors, so I'm definitely gonna keep. And then I do have a couple palettes back here. I do have my Jaclyn palettes from Morphe, which I'm gonna keep, but I think I'm just gonna take them out of the little box they come in once I can reach them. But I have this Morphe palette as well, and I'm pretty sure this was a birthday or Christmas gift from someone in my family, so I'm definitely gonna keep it. The colors are very, very pretty. There are more colors that I would technically usually go for, so I'm definitely gonna keep this. This is the 15D Day Slayer palette. And then I have the Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe palette, volume 1. I don't even know if this is available anymore, but I love this shade here. I used to use this shade mixed with a couple of these as the base colors, but I don't even know if this is available. I think I'm gonna set it aside and see. I also think this is more upgraded now with different packaging, but if they do have it, I might get rid of this old one and get a newer version, or the upgraded version of the packaging. I do have this Fenty Beauty palette. I'm pretty sure this is her first palette she came out with, and I've never actually used it. The packaging is really cool. Sorry you see my smudged fingers, but the packaging is really pretty, but I don't know, I've never really reached for it. But I'm gonna keep it for now and see if I use this, and if not, then I'll get rid of it eventually. And then I do have this Revolution palette, and I used to reach for this kind of frequent, but now I don't really reach for it at all. And I feel like I'm gonna get rid of it. I haven't touched it since I did a declutter a few months ago, so I think it's just time for me to get rid of it. And then I do have my bronze palette by Natasha Denona, which was also a gift from my fiance. And I'm definitely going to keep this. This is a very pretty palette, very beautiful shades, so I'm keeping this one. And then I have the Natasha Denona Glam Face palette, which I'm definitely going to keep because I really, really liked it. So I'm going to keep that. I have this Celestial Thunder palette from Dominique Cosmetics. These colors are very pretty. A little bit bolder for what I would usually go for, but it's a very pretty palette. I'm not even sure if it's still available. I'm gonna double check and see if it's still available. I don't really reach for it very often. I know they have other palettes that I think I would gravitate towards more because they're more wearable colors for me, But I'm going to check to see if this is still available. If it is, I'll keep. If it's not, then I might get rid of. But I'm going to leave it in here for now. I do have this Golden State of Mind ColourPop palette. This is a very, very pretty palette. It's a bunch of just shimmers, but they're very like wearable shimmers. Like you can just put them all over the lid, or you can mix and match them and kind of create an eye look with different shimmers. But this is very old. This is one of like the first products I ever really purchased from ColourPop, but it's a very pretty palette. So I don't know if I want to get rid of it. I think I'm going to also check to see if it's still available. If not, then I'll get rid of it. But it's very pretty, and I think it's the only all shimmer palette that I have. I do have this Ace Beauté Scarlet Dusk palette. Oops. Very pretty shades. Look at these, like this orangey shade here. The more darker berry tones. They're very pretty, so I'm definitely going to keep. Actually, I have to check if it's even still available, because I don't know if this one's available. And then I have this like Nude by Juvia's Place palette. Very pretty. I'm pretty sure I got this for a birthday gift or Christmas gift. I can't remember, but it's very pretty. Look at that shimmer right there. So nice. I'm definitely going to keep this Juvia's Place, the Nubian palette. I really like this. You can tell I've used a lot of this shade here and that one, but I'm definitely going to keep this one because I really like this palette. And then I have this Brow Bar by Rema. I think that's how you say the brand name. I'm not even sure. This is in the shade Drama Queen. And I don't think I've ever used this. This green though. This green in here made me want to keep it from the last time I was doing a declutter. But I don't even know if this is a... I've never heard of this brand, so I'm going to have to look it up. But I'm going to set it aside to see if I can find anything on that brand. And then I do have the Kathleen Lights X ColourPop Zodiac palette. This was a really pretty palette. I did love the palette itself. Some of the colors in here are not colors that I would typically go for, like this green or like this bluey one here. So I think I'm gonna get rid of, because I don't believe this is available anymore. So I think I'm gonna let go of this palette. And then I have these 3 palettes from ColourPop. These are the 9 shade palettes. So this one's very pretty. This is the She's Got Solstice palette. So very pretty. So I'm definitely gonna keep. I don't know if it's still available, so I definitely have to double check. This is All Things Equinox. So another very pretty shade palette. And then I'm pretty sure this is more of like the ones that they have, the Nude Mood. Definitely gonna keep. And I have these ones that I'm gonna keep. So I have this. Oh my goodness. I have the 4 palettes from the Jaclyn Hill collection, and I think I'm just going to take them out of this thing because I don't think I need this. And they all come in the individual like boxes, which I don't think I need to keep because it just takes up too much space. So I'm going to set these aside. I'm going to take them out of packaging, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep all of them. I haven't really reached for any of them, so that's why I really want to make sure that I take them out of the packaging and actually use them, because I don't want them to just stay there and not be used. Okay, so I do have these 2 palettes. This one is from e.l.f. This is the Modern Metals palette, and I've had this for a few years now. I don't even know if this is even still available. I do really like the color palette in here. Shimmers are really pretty, but I haven't really reached for it, and I don't even think it's an available palette anymore, so I think I'm gonna let go of this one. I do have this one from Dose of Colors, which I haven't seen too much from the brand. I haven't really seen a lot of people review their products. This is the Marvelous Mauves palette, which I'm sorry if I keep knocking things down, but this is a really pretty, like, just mauve tone palette, which I think I want to keep. I just have to double check if it's still available because, like I said, I don't even know, since I don't really hear a lot of people review their products. So I'm definitely going to keep, but I have to double check if it's even still available. And then I have all of my Anastasia palettes here that I have in my collection. I think there's one, the newer one, the Navu, something like that palette that I have that's in my everyday makeup drawer so that I could use. But I have the Subculture palette, which I think was one of the more like, I don't know if this is the one that was the controversial one, but I do have it, and I do like the colors in here, but I haven't really reached for it very often, but I do have it as part of my collection, so I'm definitely going to keep. I do have the Prism palette from Anastasia as well, which is very pretty, like a color story. This color here, Throne, is very pretty, or Osiris is very pretty. This one here, Dimensions, is beautiful, so I'm definitely going to keep this one. And then I have the Jackie Aina collection, which I think is one of like my more favorite like packagings on this palette, because it's just so pretty and these colors are just very pretty, very beautiful, so I'm definitely going to keep. I think I'm just going to keep all my Anastasia palettes because I just love collecting them. I do love collecting them. I don't have some of them, but maybe eventually I'll get them. But this is the Carly Bible palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this is very pretty. I haven't even touched it, and I've had it for like maybe like 2-3 years. I don't remember when it came out, but it's a very pretty palette. I definitely need to play with it because it's just really pretty. The shimmers are really pretty too, so definitely going to be keeping this one as well. And then I have these ones from MAC, which, like I said, some of these palettes I don't even know if they're still available, so I definitely have to do some Googling. But this one is the Classic Cutie MAC palette, which is very pretty, but I've never reached for it. I had one initially, and then I saw the other two from the like collection of these type of MAC palettes, and I really wanted to get them because I thought they would be really cute to have them all, but I don't think I'm ever going to use them, so I think I'm going to get rid of them. Definitely going to get rid of this one. Not really shades that I would ever really, I don't know, really play with. This is the Risk Taker palette. I think I'm going to get rid of this one as well, just because they're not really shades that I would use very often. And the last one I have is Basic B, and it's definitely not one that I would reach for at all, so gonna get rid of. Okay, so the next one I have is this one from Urban Decay, and this is the Wild West palette, and I'm definitely gonna be keeping this one. It's a very pretty like color palette, so I'm gonna keep. Literally, this one's beautiful, this one's really pretty. The shimmers are very pretty, so I'm definitely going to keep and try and like play with it a bit more because I haven't really played with it very much. And then I have, the Born to Run palette from Urban Decay, which was very popular a couple years ago when it really, like when it first came out, and I believe this isn't one that people like had in their collection as a staple, and I'm definitely going to keep it because I think it's a very pretty palette that has a lot of shades that are very wearable, I feel like, so I'm definitely going to be keeping, and I need to play with it more because I haven't really touched it in a while. I do have this one from She Glam that I need to test out because I haven't tried it yet. It's this pretty Breeze palette from She Glam, and it's very pretty. These like shimmers are very pretty. The mattes look really nice too, so I definitely have to play with this one and see if I like it, so I'm going to be keeping. And then the last one I have is this Tarteist Pro Tarte palette, and I've never used this, but these shades are really pretty, but I don't know if I'm ever really going to reach for it, so I think I'm going to let it go because I've never even like really paid attention to it. So yeah, that's all for my palettes, and now I have to try and put them all back. Okay, so it is like 2 days later since I last filmed the last clip, but I wanted to show you guys the last, like the final result of cleaning out my makeup. So we're gonna start at the top, which is where the foundations, primers, concealers are, and as you can see, I definitely have a lot more concealers that I kept than foundations. Like I only have like 2 powder and then 1 actual like foundation, a little sample, but I definitely kept a lot of concealers just because I wanted to test them out before I actually decide if I want to get rid of them or not. And then my primers, definitely a lot less than I had before, and these are just like eyeshadow primers, so those are just a couple of ones that I wanted to keep to try. And then the next one is setting sprays and setting powders, and I didn't get rid of anything here just because I mean setting sprays are something that I'm probably gonna use up eventually, so I'm not worried about getting rid of anything here. And then the powders as well, I think that's gonna stay as is just because I had already gone through them a while ago and I don't think there's anything I want to get rid of. And now we have mascaras, brow pencils, brow products in general, and then just like some little extra things back there. But I only got rid of like 2 brow products, which was like the Sleek makeup brow pomade thing, the Iconic London pomade, and then 1 mascara, which was a really old one from Lorac. And then this, I think I got rid of they were the loose pigments. So yeah, it looks better, but it's still pretty full, especially for like my mascaras, but I'm definitely gonna keep all of those. The next drawer is highlighters and blush, which I feel like I made the biggest progress here, along with my eyeshadow palettes, which I'll show you guys in a little bit, but definitely a lot more space, and I am really happy with how much I was able to get rid of, because I had a lot that I wasn't really using anymore. So I'm glad that I got rid of everything that I wasn't, using. It was just time to let go of the things that I just wasn't using. And then this is my face palettes. Not a lot, just I think I got rid of like maybe 2 things from here, but these are all like the face palettes. So I'm happy with what I have. There's a few that I'm probably gonna get rid of just because I have to check to see if they're even still available. But yeah, this is the face palette drawer. And then this is my eyeshadow drawer, which is the last drawer that I cleaned out. And it's kind of crazy how much more space there is, because I had pretty much all of that full, all of this full, a little bit here, so there was not space for anything else, but it looks so much better. I'm really happy with the progress I made with this, because I had so many eyeshadow palettes that I just wasn't using, so I just was kind of done with keeping things that I just didn't use, so I just kept this here. These are just my e.l.f. eye tape, but yeah, this is the eyeshadow drawer. That's the last drawer we decluttered. And then up here I just have like my perfumes and like extra sponges, bigger palettes that I have there that I want to use, some mirrors. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe it inspired you to clean out your makeup products as well. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!